Red Bull had an almost perfect weekend in Baku, scoring the maximum points possible for the second time in 3 races. In Spain, where they came away with maximum points, the team asked Sergio Perez to move out of the way twice for Max Verstappen. After the race, the team had talks and Checo was told he was free to fight Max Verstappen for race wins. So why was he told to move out of Max's way in Baku? The Azerbaijan Grand Prix almost couldn't have gone better for Red Bull. They picked up a maximum points with a first and second place finish as well as the fastest lap of the race for Checo, just 0.004 seconds faster than Max's fastest lap time. Both Ferrari cars failed to finish the race due to mechanical failures as well. This means they've now moved 80 points clear of Ferrari at the top of the Constructors' Championship. In the Drivers' Championship, Max sits top on 150 points, with Checo in second on 129. After the first 3 races of the season, everyone thought Ferrari might run away with the championship, but as the teams have settled, Red Bull have solved their reliability issues while Ferraris are getting worse and worse. One of the few negative points on the weekend for Red Bull was their pit stops. The team are known for their incredibly fast tyre changes, but in Baku, every single one had an issue. Helmut Marko has called for the Milton Keynes-based squad to look into why this happened. All pit stops today were not perfect for some reason, he commented. Fortunately, during the race, this did not make the difference. We were filming everything, and our team manager, Jonathan Wheatley, already ordered during the race which details he wants investigated. The only other negative note for the team will have been the need to use team orders again. Starting from second place, Sergio Perez managed to get the jump on pole sitter Charles Leclerc into turn 1, and from there began to stretch a significant lead over the Ferrari driver and the rest of the field. It looked like Checo was going to be on for a second straight win, and it was going to be by an incredibly large margin. Perez began to struggle with rear graining on his mediums though. He started falling back into the clutches of second place Verstappen. As the pair began running closely, Perez was told over team radio no fighting, before Verstappen made his move and swooped past him to take the lead on lap 15. Many people saw it happen and instantly thought that Red Bull had gone back on their promise to not favour Verstappen in the Drivers' Championship. After Spain, the team had promised to not favour one driver over the other and let them battle, at least until it was clear that one of them was no longer going to be in the race for the World Drivers' Championship. At the next race in Monaco, Max Verstappen's dad, Jos Verstappen, ranted at Red Bull for not favouring his son over Checo during the race. He wrote a column on Max Verstappen's official website, slamming the team and their strategy decisions. Red Bull achieved a good result, but at the same time exerted little influence to help Max to the front, wrote the 50-year-old. That he finished third, he owes to Ferrari's mistake at the second stop of Charles Leclerc. The championship leader, Max, was not helped in that sense by the chosen strategy. It turned completely to Checo's favour. That was disappointing to me, and I would have liked it to be different for the championship leader. I would have liked them to go for Max. But of course, I'm not entirely objective. I think 10 points from Max have been thrown away here. Just like you would with a child throwing a tantrum, Jos's words were completely ignored by Red Bull and most of the media. He's just a petulant father who's angry that his son hasn't been given absolutely everything to help him win. It was a post that really showed the worst side of Jos and reminded everyone of just how similar him and Dmitry Mazepin were. The only real difference between them is that Jos's son is a much better driver than Dmitry's. After the Monaco Grand Prix, Christian Horner responded to Jos's comments to the media. What wasn't apparent was all the information that we have during a race. If Max had pitted, then he would have come out behind, I think, George at the time. Jos is his own person and personality. He's got opinions and that's absolutely fine. That's his opinion. The reality for us was obviously slightly different. It's no issue. The number 1 driver is the driver that's ahead. It's as simple as that. That's why Checo got the call on pit stop. Max wouldn't have had track position, for example, on that lap. But our fight isn't between the 2 drivers. We've got a very competitive Ferrari with 2 fast drivers in it. Collectively, as a team, we've got to take the fight and take the challenge to Ferrari, who are looking very quick this year. It was clear from what happened in the Monaco Grand Prix that Christian's words were worth something. Checo had the best chance of winning the Monaco Grand Prix and the team rightly did everything they could to help him win there. But in Baku, once the race started to settle after the opening couple of laps, it looked like Checo had the best chance of winning again. So why was it on lap 15 that he was asked to move aside for Max? While Red Bull were probably thinking a little bit about what happened in Baku in 2018, Max Verstappen and teammate at the time Daniel Ricciardo were fighting almost constantly for the first half of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Their battle for 4th and 5th place was fierce and closely contested, with the positions getting swapped lap after lap. On lap 40 though, their battle ended with Daniel Ricciardo going into the back of Max Verstappen at turn 1, taking both cars out of the race. With the battle in the Constructors' Championship being as close as it was at the start of the weekend in Azerbaijan, Red Bull couldn't risk a repeat of that happening. Checo had destroyed his tyres in the early laps of the race, and Max was just far faster on lap time. It was unfortunate for Sergio Perez because he'd been incredibly impressive all weekend. But was there more that Red Bull could have done to help the Mexican driver? Perez was left searching for answers about why Red Bull didn't pit him under the first virtual safety car period to cover off Ferrari pitting Leclerc, which he put down to miscommunication within the Red Bull team. That pit stop would also have given him some fresher tyres, which he was in desperate need of just a few laps later. The early stop gave Leclerc a net lead once both Red Bulls had stopped, but his advantage at the front lasted for one lap before he retired due to engine failure. There was some miscommunication with the virtual safety car, so he missed the opportunity to pit under it, which was quite costly, he said. Then we hit a lot of degradation on that medium tyre after the virtual safety car. So there are a few things to understand from that today. Certainly, today, Max was quite a lot stronger in that phase of the race. It was mainly about bringing it home after the Ferrari issue. Nothing Red Bull did during the race really favoured one driver over the other. Checo will just feel hard done by that he wasn't able to pit during the first virtual safety car. Fortunately for Red Bull, Checo is a very experienced driver who knows exactly what needs to happen to help his team succeed. I think Checo is a mature guy, said Horner. He gets the bigger picture and he gets that it's a long championship. He's in the form of his career off the back of Monaco, but I think maybe, with the benefit of hindsight coming into this weekend, perhaps there was too much weight put on qualifying in his setup with the rear degradation that he experienced. So that's something to have a look at. Max was certainly in better shape in the race than Checo was at the back end of that first stint. Why would Red Bull have put so much into getting a good qualifying place out of Checo and not Max? Well, remember the drivers will have a preference over how their car is set up, so perhaps Checo preferred his car that way. Red Bull will also have wanted to avoid letting Ferrari get a front row lockout before the race. If that would have happened, it's likely that Leclerc would have been able to drive off from the front of the pack and open up a big lead, while Checo and Max had to fight their way past Sainz. Checo's inability to preserve his tyres in the early stages of the race also hints at his car being set up more for qualifying than the race. It also explains why he was able to open up such a large lead at the front of the race so quickly. The balance of the Mexican's car was obviously not quite right for the race. In the end though, he can't be too upset with how his weekend went. It was his 5th podium of the season, and thanks to another nightmare weekend for Ferrari, he moved up into 2nd place in the drivers' standings. Checo is having the best season of his life this year, and he's in a real chance of fighting for the World Drivers' Championship. It won't be easy against Max Verstappen, but as long as he carries on like he has been, he'll give himself the best possible chance of claiming the greatest trophy in motorsport. Who would you rather see win the Drivers' Championship? Checo or Max? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section. Until we see you next time, drive safe and bye-bye.